Hey folks, Sam Whitfield here. I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you for downloading the audio podcast and listening to the show wherever you may be. I really appreciate it. And I would like to let you know that you can also now support the show directly via Anchor. If you go to anchor.fm/Whitfield Report, you can now support the show using Apple Pay or Android Pay on your mobile device, depending on which type of phone you have. And you can contribute $1, $5, or $10 as the 3 levels of contribution. I would really appreciate anything that you can give. Every little bit helps the show. And you can find the link to support the show directly in your show notes, depending on which app you're using. I would really appreciate the support if you can. If not, please continue to support the show by giving us a rating on iTunes and sharing with your friends. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed the show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this week's edition of the Thursday podcast. This week I'm joined by Thomas and Seth and Trent, my buddies from the Young Americans for Liberty, the chapter at the college I go to. They returned to the podcast this week to discuss the midterm election results, and then we went on a quick detour into pop culture and movies and comic books and whatnot, and went back and forth between pop culture and politics, as we're wanting to do when we all talk. So it was a good podcast. I won't keep the intro too long. I just want to say that, as always, this podcast is independently my own and does not reflect the opinions of the management of the Young Americans for Liberty. Just want to put that disclaimer out there, as always, for legal purposes and whatnot. But as a whole, I hope you enjoyed this conversation that we had, and stay tuned for more, because this is part 1 of 3 of our post midterm election coverage here on the Whitfield Report. Hope you enjoyed this Thursday edition of the podcast. And thanks for listening and supporting the show. Alright, before we begin this podcast, I would like to once again make clear that everything that is about to be said is our own opinions and is not the direct opinion of Young Americans for Liberty or its, head executive branch. Although it should be, I think. And with that in mind, welcome to this week's episode of the Whitfield Report, part 1 of 3, actually. For this first part of our post-election coverage, I am joined by my favorite
Arabic.
What?
He's Guatemalan.
Guatemalan.
I thought you were Arabic at first.
There's no difference in America.
I was gonna say Cuban, but I'm like, fuck, no, he's not.
He's not a damn commie.
He's not a kid. Well, he's not. My favorite jock, which would be
Me.
You.
Seth.
And my favorite Ben Shapiro and impersonators.
Trenton Ginter.
Yeah, true. So
my wife's a doctor.
Of course, I am the resident cripple here. So anyway, folks, welcome to this non-serious episode.
You only physical disability here?
Yeah. Out of, although, like, technically I suppose that Thomas would actually trump me in terms of privilege because I'm still white. And he is not.
I'm not. So I'm okay, because it's not okay to be white, apparently.
Is ethnic ambiguity alright? Ambiguity?
Yeah. That's not a concern.
Anyway, though, in all seriousness, wow, we
What an election.
we did better than I thought we would.
did.
We did.
Win some, you lose some.
Make America great again.
Basically, folks, just a disclaimer. I basically didn't do a predictions podcast. Everyone asked me to, but I suck at making predictions. So if you're not good at making predictions, why do it? That's my motto.
I think for in terms of most Republicans, most conservatives, their predictions was on the right path. I know mine was. I knew we were going to lose the House. I knew the House was a goner. Not to the extent that I thought.
Right. That usually happens. But like, okay, let's just go immediately to Florida. I honestly didn't know how it would turn out. I didn't. It was so close. It could have gone either way.
Well, let's remember about pre-election polls that if we take the previous presidential election, every news outlet thought that Hillary Clinton would win. Every poll said she would have like at least a point lead in terms of
Right.
percentage
She
points.
did win the popular vote, but she didn't win the electoral college
No,
vote.
but that's really where it matters.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that's different when it comes to, gubernatorial, senatorial,
Right.
because those aren't. Well, I don't know about.
Well, okay. Let's be honest though. Even Democrats hated Hillary Clinton,
Yeah, but I mean,
whereas Gillum did not have the Hillary Clinton hate factor.
no, she didn't. But
He had the Bernie train.
they were on the Bernie. A lot of. Well, he was endorsed by Bernie, so a lot of the people who I feel did not like Clinton, but did like Bernie, was 100% with Gillum.
Gillum also got endorsed by Obama too.
Yeah, that was big.
I think Obama's compliment doesn't really do that much anymore now that he's not president. I don't think his word holds as much as it used to.
Maybe not in general, but like Democrats still see he's the Democrat equivalent of Ronald Reagan.
Oh yeah, I would agree with that.
At least kind of from what I've heard Democrats say.
Well, I mean, it can be. Who else would it be? Bill Clinton? I don't think so. At least not in terms of the modern left.
I mean, the thing it is, the Democrats. I mean, I suppose. I mean, they've never had like a Reagan-esque figure.
No.
You know, before, like back in the old Democrat Party, Kennedy was the one.
Kennedy, yeah, but even then, ideologically.
But let's be honest, Kennedy now, at least in terms of political ideology, would be more libertarian conservative in terms of his.
I'd put him more just dead center, I'd say. Same with Clinton.
Yeah, but I mean, dead center in the mind of the left is pretty much far right, neo. Yeah, all those.
Yeah.
Anyway, though, yeah, getting back to, I mean, it was close.
It was very close. It was very close. But I have the full results here. So
Yeah, please.
For DeSantis, 49.6 compared to Gillum, 49.2.
So it really was by Harry.
But I should also make note that in counties where Clinton was in the lead, in Florida, I mean, Gillum underperformed. I think I'm looking at Broward. He was underperforming in terms of the past election. I have a theory for that. It's not really my only theory. It's kind of shared. For Senator Rick Scott, 50.1. Bill Nelson, the fossil, Tyrannosaurus Rex, whatever you want to call him.
Hey guys, I was
49.9.
Hey guys, I was an astronaut 40 years ago.
That's cool as shit.
That's cool.
Who?
You only orbited for 2 minutes.
I'm not gonna lie, that's so cool.
It's still cool. I wish I was. I mean,
I did a whole I write jokes on Facebook and I think they're funny, but I basically did like a thing where he was like, "Hey guys, I was an astronaut," and I'm like, "Florida voters, that's great, Bill. No one gives a shit."
It's true though.
Crickets. Hey guys, I was an astronaut, and please vote for me. So.
Yeah. Okay, so as to my theory why Gillum was underperforming was, let's be honest, Gillum was pushing a pretty close socialist agenda. I mean, if you're going to be endorsed by Bernie Sanders, a Democratic socialist, you're on the socialist lines.
Feel the burn.
Feel the burn. Yeah, especially in your taxes. But most of southern Florida, like southern Florida, like Miami, Broward, these are filled with a lot of Latinos. These are filled with a lot of Cubans. And I think no group, the groups that have, faced the troubles of socialism most would be Asians, Eastern Europeans, and Latinos. So look at Venezuela. So I think when Latinos hear socialism, they think of Venezuela.
Well, the immigrants, at least, I would agree. I think the first and second gen Americans. I mean, let's be real. Yes, I agree that you're right, but let's be real, at least for going. It was extremely close.
Mm-hmm. It was.
Which concerned me because, okay, we won, but it was very, very close. So, how many people were being fooled by socialist and Marxist propaganda when their parents and grandparents would not have?
Well, I think that just speaks to the generational divide. I mean,
yeah.
I think it'd be fair to say that a lot of the older Latinos would be against compared to the younger ones who don't really have a grasp on the dangers of socialism. You know what I mean?
Right. We've talked before, and I mean, you're an immigrant yourself, so you're young, but you understand.
Yeah.
From a level that I don't think Seth or I or Trent or anyone really here can. We understand it, but not.
Are you assuming my nationality?
Yeah. Yes, I am. You cracker white boy.
Yeah. But this was too close for comfort. But again, it's Florida. The reason why people watch election nights is just for Florida. Like, the only reason CNN never calls Florida until like the last minute is because Florida's this way. But
Florida's.
I was thinking if I did it fast, you wouldn't.
But let's talk about Texas, because Texas.
I love Texas.
Love them, but that was if we're going to talk about too close for comfort, I think it's Texas, with Ted Cruz getting 50.9 and Beto O'Rourke 48.3. I think, obviously, as conservatives, we should be, yes, we did okay. We kept the Senate. We got some marginal gains in the Senate. A lot of the battleground states like Florida and Texas and Georgia, we prevailed. But most of our base has been rural. That can be said about the presidential election. It's been rural. But we really took a hit in suburbia. And the thing about it is, I mean, if we're talking about civilization in general, cities and suburbia, that's going to grow. Whereas rural areas, that's only going to shrink. That's just, the logic of civilization. So we should be like, okay, yeah, we did okay, but we really need to be worried. I I think we're all cut out. We're all high on victory. That we're like, okay, the blue wave's over for now. But I think we should still be very fearful because we really do need to get back at least suburbia.
Well, I think one of the major factors, and I've said this for weeks on the podcast, I think one of the big motivating factors, obviously, can you get me some chips?
Which one?
What do we have?
We got Fritos, we got Doritos, blue, red, we got Lay's, classic,
Sun chips.
Cheetos, Sun Chips. Nobody cares about Sun Chips.
I'll take Doritos blue. Sun chips are for faggots. Again, this type of language is why this is kind of an unofficial YL podcast. But
Well, I guess I'm a faggot.
That's okay.
well, we kind of figured that in a way.
Yeah, we figured that out a long time ago.
I mean, you did unzip your pants in front of.
Yeah, that's okay.
But that doesn't make me gay.
True.
Yeah, only like 2 or 3%.
As the great words of Bo Burnham, don't you just hate when you're blown a dude and it turns out he's a faggot? Am I right?
Okay, real talk. If you guys, gun to your head, had to suck one phallus 10 times, or suck 10 phalluses one time, which would you choose?
1 10 times.
Okay.
Same.
Yeah.
1 10 times?
Same.
You guys are gay.
Why are we gay?
Because, listen.
All you gotta say is no homo.
No.
Hey man, less chances of contracting the AIDS.
If you are sucking the same dick 10 times, that is commitment, and that is gay. I'll take the 10 dicks, just down the line, assembly line, like Henry Ford.
Yeah, but you haven't defined what the suck is. Is it just...
Do you just have to put it in your
That's
mouth?
the beauty of it.
Yeah, do you just have to lick it? What do you have to do, man?
I mean, if we're going to be real, we have to go through...
I mean, does count as 3?
Yeah.
Probably it will
I
be
think
till
so.
ejaculation.
Okay.
But you think about it. If you're sucking the same one 10 times, the chances are that guy's going to be ejaculating less and less, or like the time between each ejaculation is going to grow. I mean, am I
To the
wrong?
point where it's just blowing air?
Yeah, just
It hurts at that point. It actually does. It's not fun.
no.
Aha!
What?
Okay, is
I
anybody?
was right. You are gay.
No, I'm not
Okay, is anybody here doing No November?
gay.
Failed.
No, not November. I failed on the first day. And then I failed on the third day with a person.
Failed last night.
Well,
There you go.
I failed because coincidentally the Sports Illustrated swimsuit previews came out. So
Sarah Underwood's new calendar came out.
Ooh. Well, it's November 8th, and I'm still 8 days strong.
How have you not, killed someone yet?
It's hard.
Yeah,
It's really hard.
I nearly murdered someone last night, man.
Yeah.
And then I knew I had to take matters into my own hands.
I go 3 days and I'm not
That's good. It's hard. It's just all about willpower, bro. That's why I got Jesus.
Jesus could jerk you off.
and we're back.
Follow Allah's path or face Tesla's wrath.
So where were we?
Discussing Texas and
Texas.
suburbia.
Yeah, Texas, which is shaped like the middle finger, by the way.
Texas what?
Shaped like the middle finger.
Yeah, haven't you ever noticed
Okay.
that?
I can see that.
But anyway, Texas women, as long as we're going on tangents, all the women from Texas have really big titties, too, I've noticed.
I
With
mean, I
that,
can't vouch for that, but I'll take your word for it.
with that in, I know, believe me. With that in mind, Beto the Cock O'Rourke,
Uh-huh.
lost. but no, lost by a narrow margin, which is
No, not as much as I'd like.
again, it's all these Californians and other liberal.
I love California. I'm not a liberal, but I love California.
California.
I like the people.
Yeah.
It's not the politics
Yeah.
and the weather.
Yeah. No, I love the weather. It stays like 70 degrees almost year round.
Aw,
Yes, it does.
What?
no way.
Yes.
Pretty much. Yeah.
It's basically here, but a little bit cooler. There's most parts of California that it doesn't snow.
Well, yeah, it snows in the north.
Yeah. But like towards LA, because it is a little bit higher on like the United States, it doesn't get lower than like or higher than like 70 or 80. Unless there's a wildfire, of course.
Yeah, then everything.
Well, have fun with your droughts and being along the fault lines.
Honestly.
I'm just waiting for LA to go under.
Me too.
Yeah.
What was Elon thinking? Digging a hole underneath LA?
Bro, he's just bored.
Huh?
Honestly, that's what I think it is.
No.
I just think he's bored. Like, he's got so many ideas. And so many, like, legislation and, like,
And he
loopholes.
has so much disposable income.
Elon Musk all along was just trying to speed up the fault lines, and he just decided to destabilize LA by drilling holes under it. He's
Like, he knows the risk.
He's like the mole man from The Incredibles, I swear.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
That's what he's trying to do.
It's a good way to put on it.
Well, no.
Stealing money from a bank.
Are we sure Elon Musk is human?
Yeah.
I knew you'd ask that, and no.
Well,
There's no way he's human.
I know you guys follow me on Instagram, so you. Has anyone here seen The Watchmen?
Yeah.
The Watchman?
Elon Musk is Dr. Manhattan.
Oh, my God.
From
I could see that.
his
He'd
like
totally bang a Martian.
I would too.
well his knowledge of just his knowledge in general, like Dr. Manhattan, and he can't relate to other humans. He's just that.
Yeah.
advanced.
I can see that.
So no.
Trey, Seth, do you have anything to add to the post-election?
I haven't paid too much attention. I looked at polls and saw that it was overwhelmingly Gillum. I just got kind of worried about that, and then I remembered, oh wait, Clinton.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, it's probably just gonna be close. And then I was staying up at night, thinking, okay, he's got 100,000 votes up. He's good. We're gold. That's a good buffer zone. And then it's just getting lower and lower. It's going, oh god, all the precincts in Broward County and Miami-Dade haven't been taken into account yet. They're still 100 precincts short.
You know what was interesting? And this totally defeats the notion of, oh, but my vote doesn't count. Because Monroe County, if you look at the percentage, it's 50-50. Monroe County, the only difference was by one vote for Rick Scott. One vote made the difference in Monroe County.
Did you hear that Nelson? Well, obviously you guys probably heard this.
Yeah, Bill Nelson requested a recount.
Yeah.
The only thing I really took away from it was no vaping indoors.
Oh yeah, the amendments. I'm
Woo!
not happy
Yeah,
with the
yeah.
amendments.
Let's talk about the amendments.
No more vaping.
Oh, all right. So
Doesn't affect me.
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
You gotta put that shit away. Then you're breaking the law.
yeah, you're breaking the law now,
Come
Andres.
on, guys. I don't think it's been effective yet. Wait, how do I?
No, I don't think it went effective until January. I don't think anything goes effective until January.
All right. So for the amendments, as a recap for the amendments, a lot of them were horrible because Florida is the only state in the union that has a special convention every 20 years where they decide if the Constitution needs amending. And so the proposed amendments to this ballot was kind of, I think, dishonest in its technique to use bundling.
Yeah.
So let's just go down the list. So Amendment 4, restoring voter rights for felons.
That would have
Wait, did that pass?
It passed
Oh.
64.5
five.
to 35.5. So that passes. Amendment 9, banning drilling and vaping. 68.9 yes, 31.1 no. Crime victims' rights and judges' retirement age, that passed. I was okay with that. 61.6 to 38.4. Increasing homestead exemption 41.9 to 58.1. So I think that was the closest out of most of the amendments.
Did Morris still have, did the rights for?
Yeah, that one passed. Yeah, that was
Okay.
Amendment 6.
Thank God.
Limited property tax assessments, that passed. Yes, 66.5. 33.5. Amendment 3, the voting control of gambling. 71.5 to 28.5.
Well, I guess I can't go to the dog track anymore.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Just kidding, folks. I never did.
Honestly, kind of sad how they treat him. But like, I've only gone once. It is a dying gamble.
It is a dying industry.
Yeah.
If the government didn't intervene, it probably would have died off by itself.
Well, that's
Exactly. That's why I voted no.
well, that's what happened with the circus. I mean, the circus died off.
Right. That's a good point.
I mean, well, there's like one or two still big circuses.
Well, that's going to be
But
dead
I mean,
in
yeah.
the next 5 years or so.
I mean, because they're the only ones. That
I mean, like one of the only popular ones is like Nick Wallenda, right?
Mm.
He's like one of the few popular
Yeah.
ones now.
But even then, he does his own stuff once in a while.
yeah, so.
But, so I'll get to that amendment in a second. Supermajority for taxes. That passed. Thank God. Requiring 2/3 of the vote to increase or levy any taxes. 65.7 to 34.3. Thank God. Survivor benefits for first responder families and veteran families. 65.8 yes. Amendment 10, nobody really cares about that. There's a lot of just stupid ones on here. Just stupid, unnecessary amendments added to the Constitution. Dog racing, 69% to 31%. So, I mean, again, let the free market take care of it. Why are we mucking up the Constitution?
Well, here's the problem with amendments in general, at least on the statement side. No one really understands what they are or how they actually work.
That's true.
For the most part, I mean, no one who's normal. We're all political. We're all politicos. We study this crap as a hobby.
Right.
Even I got confused by a lot of it.
Yeah, me too.
They don't make it easy for voters.
They were just really, like, they were worded very weird.
Very vague.
Me and my brother had to take like an hour just researching everything
Yeah.
before we went.
Judges were extremely hard too, just because like whether to keep them. If they were appointed by Republicans, I voted to keep them. If they were appointed by Democrats, which I'm like, well, theoretically, I could be kicking out a Republican judge who got appointed by a Democrat. Don't know why that would happen, but theoretically it could. School board and whatnot, I've got to be honest, I don't really care. I mean...
Don't tell Abby that.
Yeah, that's more of her department.
Yeah.
I
Well...
voted Scott, but I'm pretty sure he won. Scott
Well, I mean, basically, if they had like an R next to their name, I voted for them.
Yeah, I mean that's always.
It's not that. Let me rephrase. It's not that I don't care about education
Scott
because
Okay.
God knows we need better public education
Yeah.
here in Florida. But it's kind of hard when you don't have kids yourself to really.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Voting on anything that doesn't really affect you. Yeah, I know I'm very indifferent about it. I mean, like public education now, I could give two shits about
Now that you're. Yeah.
whatever.
But I mean that's the thing, because voter turnout was the highest it's ever been for at least a midterm election.
Wasn't it like 38 or 40? No, I don't think it was 40.
Well, what everyone is surprised about. This was the point I was going to make earlier, and then I got sidetracked. Everyone, I think, the incumbent party in the executive branch usually does not show up during midterms. They just usually don't. the reason, if nothing else, why the Republicans showed up was because Kavanaugh. The witch hunt that the Dems
Enacted?
sparked in going after Kavanaugh. I think it really fired up the base.
Yeah.
And got Republicans out there.
Well, go ahead. Sorry.
I think had they left Kavanaugh alone, and basically, I mean, I don't want to use the term martyr to describe Kavanaugh because that's not the correct term. They didn't make him a martyr because, like, he's still alive, so he's not.
Politically, I think.
But politically, I mean, yeah, they did make. So, you know, I think the Republican base really got out there. And then not only that, but between Elizabeth Warren and Stormy Daniels, you know, kind of doing their stupid stuff, you know, the Dems shot themselves in the foot basically all around in terms of rhetoric.
Yeah. If it wasn't for Kavanaugh, I don't know. I think still Republicans would have voted okay. Because when they polled as to what this election means to you, a lot of Republicans said to support Trump. Because Trump did make the effort to come to these battleground states and have his rallies.
Yeah, I mean, I think some of us would have still shown up. I don't think necessarily like people I know who were kind of like, they weren't really on the fence. They weren't really on the fence, but they were kind of like, oh, I'll vote if I have time. After Kavanaugh happened, they were like, oh, I'm definitely voting now.
Yeah, it really solidified the reason, which is true. But in terms of the Democrats' motivation, it was like 80% to stop the president, you know?
Oh, yeah, of course.
What's
new? Let's be honest. I mean, some liberal said on my, well, you guys did the same thing when Obama was president, and I'm like, okay, yeah, you're not wrong.
It's just, I mean, some of these things like this, the whataboutism, I think it's completely useless. But like politics is politics. Definitely, it's a little different now. Just how President Trump is not your average president.
Well, okay, Ben Shapiro for the Daily Wire. That was the election coverage that I watched on election night. He made a very interesting point, which is politics has changed so much because so much of it is based on the internet now with social media, and everything is so much more intensified.
Absolutely. You know, after the election, when I posted on my social media like, all right, we did okay, I lost quite not a lot, but I lost some friends on social media just because I voted Republican, which is a little sad.
Did they like not know? I mean,
they didn't, because honestly, because when I was in high school, I still held my conservative beliefs just so I wasn't ostracized. Because I went to an art school, and you know that's enough to know that it's pretty lefty left. So.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're the homosexual one. No.
Yeah.
I mean, I did a lot of art classes at my school. My school was white conservative, and they taught art classes somewhat in a conservative manner about building your brand if you're going into photography. And like that kind of stuff is different for where you went versus where I went.
Well,
yeah.
What's always funny to me is I've been pretty outspoken about politics in high school because I've literally been podcasting since 2008 when I was in junior high.
Oh wow.
So I mean I've been pretty open, and so when people were like, I can't believe you voted for Trump, I'm always like, why does that shock you? Like, you know I'm conservative. Why did that's when it always shocks me, when it's like you're pretty open like Republican or you're pretty open Democrat and people are like still shocked.
Well, people are. I don't know. I think that because obviously the culture shock, or no, the culture of outrage is definitely within the left. Because I mean, if God forbid a black person votes Republican, then they're considered race traitors.
I actually have a meme for that right now.
Please send that.
Well, you know who I don't want to mention. I don't want. I don't want to mention this individual's name. But I will say this: we spent a long period of time, like 2 hours, talking to this person about elections, and they voted Republican.
Are you talking about Orion?
Damn it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, see, I love Orion because I don't know if I'd say I guess you'd say open-minded, but he's also aware.
Well, even if he's become. The thing with it is and this is really what I wish more people on both sides would do. I'm open to hearing other people's opinions.
Mm-hmm.
I'm open to new perspectives. I mean, I was fairly anti-gay marriage. Like, I was much more socially conservative on that issue when I was younger, and then as I got older, I'm like, you know what? It doesn't really, like, I've got to go full on libertarian just because it doesn't really like affect my life.
Right.
So I mean, and that's the other interesting thing is I always get the thing of like, oh wow, you're Republican, like you're actually a really nice guy to hang out with. I'm like, well, thank you.
But that's the thing, like, not all Republicans are fascists. Not all leftists are fascists. But there are a few that really ruin that name because they have such hard
Absolutely.
Well,
views.
It's also, it goes back to the fact that everyone is on social media. Now Joe Rogan talks about this all the time.
The all-powerful Joe Rogan.
I love Joe Rogan.
We've started, and Joe will never admit to this, but I'm pretty sure he's a closet conservative,
I mean, his opinions change depending on the interviewee.
Maybe not.
Yeah, I would notice.
Maybe not conservative, but
he's just a really easygoing guy. That's the whole thing about him.
Which is how I try and be.
Laissez-faire.
And I mean, he's always open to listen to other people's viewpoints. He's not one to really shoot anyone down as he is to listen to what they have to say.
Steven Crowder, marijuana.
Yeah, that was a huge one.
Yeah, well, see, like, that was me when I was younger with gay marriage. And, like, I just didn't want to, I didn't want to.
Well, what I think makes Joe Rogan so successful is that he understands the difference between a radical and non-radical. Because he's had people who are on the left and the right on his podcast. He's had Steven Pinker on his podcast.
Yeah.
He's liberal. But he doesn't really, he doesn't really care for the SJWs, for the hard leftists. I wouldn't really call Ben Shapiro
Well, people think
a hard right-winger. He's definitely right-wing, but he's not like...
neither is...
Oh my God.
Neither is people think Gavin McInnes is like really hard. Gavin McInnes is not hard. Gavin McInnes is actually probably the most libertarian.
Yeah,
His rhetoric and the way he acts was like
the way he portrays himself is
It's putting on a show.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's remember, Gavin McInnes was the founder of the hipster movement.
Well, Gavin McInnes is also. I mean, someone asked me because they were like interested in writing Rise. I'm like, do you know who and they're like, oh, isn't that the guy who got addicted to heroin? And I'm like, I don't actually know Gavin. I do know that one time I misspelled Gavin's name on Twitter, and he called me. He was like, shut up, you faggot retard. But but this was like when he was still working for Compound Media, and I'm pretty sure. I mean, he's been pretty open that he has had a drinking problem. So
Gavin McInnes is definitely he's a party animal. He's a
I'm just like
not your traditional
when he which is what I love about him, because it's like I'm certainly not what. Well, I mean, that's the thing. I think the right is the so-called right is much more open.
I'd say that
than
the left.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the left is the left has the media. You know, if the media says, "Hey, you should hate the president," most of these leftists are going to be like, "I hate the media. I hate the president."
Orange man bad.
Orange man bad. You know, but I think the benefit, obviously there's pros and cons to not having the media on your side. The con is obviously, you know, you don't have national representation, and you don't have the quote unquote reputation of the media, which that's close to non-existent. But
yeah, but let's be honest too. The media, the mainstream media at least, is more or less dying out too.
Right, that's because of, I think, the movement of the right. They have their own, you know, outlets for these things.
Well,
and different people can look at these different outlets for the right, whether it's the Daily Wire, whether it's CRTV, Steven Crowder, whatever, and they can make their own judgment calls. You know?
Well, it's not even so much that. It's a lot of. I mean, cable's getting expensive. A lot of people I know are cutting cable and just getting big internet pipes.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
That's what my dad did.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, it's smart.
That's what we did. I mean, almost $200 a month for cable.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah, I'll pay $20 for HBO and $8 for Netflix. That seems like a good trade.
Yeah, that's you're still
capitalism, man.
Oh,
it's beautiful.
And if you're a student, you get $5 student Spotify, and you get free Showtime and free Hulu.
I'm on Apple Music.
Well,
so
I thought you were talking about me being gay.
Look at.
Okay.
Look at my setup here. I've got an iPhone 10, an iPad.
Well, I have all Apple products too, but I don't use Apple Music.
I mean,
gentlemen, ladies, you're both gay. Like, let's not admit.
All right.
Well,
just shut up and kiss.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I did go see Bohemian Rhapsody, which
I want to see that.
Which is that's the other thing. The media is full of shit when it comes. Everyone said that movie sucks. The media reviews.
Interesting.
See, but they said the same thing about Venom.
Venom looked like garbage.
I thoroughly enjoyed Venom. I thought that it was an above average comic book movie and quite faithful to the source material. But there's some media outlets that are like, oh.
How is it faithful though? There's no spot.
Yeah, the whole reason Venom exists is because he's the antithesis of Spider-Man.
Yes,
yeah,
but I mean,
always with Spider-Man.
The specific storyline they took from, which is the Lethal Protector storyline, where he actually goes and has to hunt down and kill the symbiotes. A lot of the scenes and things.
Isn't that the Agent Venom storyline?
No, that's after. So in New York, I think it's after Carnage. They team up and kill Carnage. Spider-Man's like, hey, if you want to do your own thing, go to San Francisco because I don't want you here in New York. And he's like, okay. So he moves to San Francisco, and then he becomes a anti-hero there. And then that's when Venom becomes like known as an anti-hero and not so much like a villain. And that's where the actual storyline for the movie picks up with the Lethal Protector.
Okay.
While we're on nerd stuff, I just have to say, can you please show me your wallpaper on your phone?
Oh God, which one? I got two. I got hang on, it's my bad. I got shit.
Second best sci-fi movie of all time.
Blade Runner.
Oh man,
I love
I
that.
am a Harrison Ford fanboy.
So am I.
I love his movies so much. And then the second one,
Whip me, daddy.
Also nice.
my favorite Batman.
Although not as good as the original animated series. But
Yeah, I'll give you that, but I like it because it went under darker tones. It's just like Spawn to me. If any of y'all ever watched Spawn.
it was dark, but it was also cute.
Like the animated
Did you
series.
hear they might be...
Is Todd McFarlane in it?
They might be doing a new Spawn movie, but Todd McFarlane's trying to co-write it.
Okay, that is awesome. If that does happen.
The only thing is, I don't think it has very much funding right now because...
Well, I mean, he's never had that much funding, especially with the animated series he had.
Yeah.
But it was still awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Ridley Scott had next to no funding with Blade Runner, and it's.
Until 2049.
I hope. I hope they do a third one.
I haven't watched the second Blade Runner yet.
What?
I have not. I have not had time.
Thanks for.
Have you seen the newest one?
No, that's what he's saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I've seen. I saw the first Blade Runner. Yeah, I love that one so much.
Wrong movie franchise.
Heck, I'm even trying to get through a dual sheep Dream of Electric. I do Android Dream of Electric Sheep. I'm still trying to get through that one. I just haven't had time because chemistry, physics, and calculus. Yeah. I can't get around that.
Yeah, it was incredible.
If I can like.
It should have won. It should have won the Oscar for movie of the year.
See,
or whatever it was.
I think
it was best drama.
The good movies
every aspect of it I love.
Yeah.
The good movies don't never win the Academy anymore.
I know it's always the ones that spark the most controversy, but even then, those ones don't win either. You know, like
here, let me make a movie about two lesbians that beat the shit out of each other.
Emmy.
Yeah, Oscar,
Nobel Prize.
Let's make a movie about a fish having sex with a woman. Oscar.
What? Hey, let's.
That was okay.
And let's put them on it.
It was a pretty good movie, but it was just like.
Let's make a movie. Let's make a movie condoning NAMBLA, basically.
Basically.
You want an Oscar for that? Here's an Oscar.
Well.
I don't know, man.
Punisher was pretty good. The Netflix series.
I love The Punisher.
I did too. I also really like Daredevil. I haven't seen season 3
Daredevil
yet.
Season 3 is awesome. However, season 2 was carried by The Punisher. Season 2 was carried by The Punisher.
Absolutely.
You can't change my mind there.
No, it was.
Oh, no, did not.
The best scene in all of those shows is the one where he's like chained up to the thing and
Yes.
where he breaks out and then he like shoots the guy in the legs and then just blows his face off. That was just
that one and his prison scene. I love the prison scene
just,
so much.
Holy fuck! That
one
was
man
so
versus
good.
An entire high security prison. One angry boy.
Yes,
one angry boy. One angry blind boy.
Frank Castle was my spirit animal.
Honestly, no.
Did you guys see that shitty? It wasn't like a knockoff movie, but it was pretty much a knockoff movie. It was with this woman, but like her family gets murdered, also at New York at like a carousel, and then she goes on a rampage trying to kill her murderers, killers.
Well,
her family's killers.
Or her family killers.
Okay.
What,
her murderers, killers.
You
stole my revenge.
Yeah.
Prepare to die.
Yeah.
Well, Punisher was originally Vietnam,
Yeah.
right? The Punisher was the first character really to say "fuck you" to the anti-Vietnam, which is partially why I love him. But
Wasn't that also because Stan Lee was like very much for the war? Or no, Steve Ditko made.
Well, I mean, he had
Punisher,
what was it?
I can tell you.
I don't think it was Stan Lee. I'm pretty sure it was Steve Ditko.
Sergeant Fury. That storyline.
Yeah,
That was based in Vietnam, right?
I think so.
I have a hard time remembering because I read it so long ago, but
I don't remember if it was a Nam or it was it might have just been a different.
I think Fury goes back to World War II.
It might have.
Fury's everywhere.
Can we talk about how garbage Iron Fist was?
I can't stand that show.
I tried to watch 3 episodes and I was like, I can't
not
get
past
into
the
this.
third. It's
No.
I was surprised it got renewed for a second season.
And Luke Cage, okay, I enjoyed Luke Cage quite a bit, and they canceled the next season of it, which I was actually genuinely upset about because, like, I like the actor that plays Luke Cage, and I thought his show was
I never watched that.
pretty good.
It was pretty decent. I liked it a lot.
I thought Jessica Jones would suck, but it actually
No,
I love Jessica Jones.
Yeah,
I have one of the figurines of her on my desk. That was a great series in my opinion.
But
Yeah,
also,
yeah,
like, I
definitely
really love the
fun.
actress that plays her, so it's like,
of course
They do a good job with the cast.
Yeah.
Definitely.
The only
except for Iron Fist.
Iron Fist.
I felt Iron Fist was just a mixture of Law and Order SVU and freaking Doctor Strange, and it's like, what am I watching? What am I watching?
The problem with that is, how do you get a character like that into media now?
well
This is the problem with like superhero movies and why DC doesn't work, is because every single one of their characters is a god or an alien.
Right.
So it's like you can't add humanity to
Well,
them.
the whole purpose of DC is that it's the perfect hero interacting with an imperfect world, whereas Marvel is the imperfect hero interacting with people.
I hate to be this guy, but Batman.
Christian Bale's Batman probably the absolute
You can't top that.
best.
You
yeah.
can't.
Well,
Even
can't
Dark
top
Knight
that.
is like heralded as an actual one of the best movies of all time.
The only argument I would say is, and again I know this isn't film, but Kevin Conroy's Batman from the animated series is,
That was a good one.
Yeah.
I would say, the definitive Batman as a whole. But yeah, in terms of movies,
Christian
you're right.
Bale's
Batman
by
animated?
far.
Sure. Live action? I've hated every single one of them.
Really?
Yeah, I just don't like them at all.
The Christian Bale one?
Christian Bale I was alright with. Everything else is just kind of meh.
Everything is kind of meh.
I kind of enjoyed what Ben Affleck did with the older, gringy Batman, because that's actually how he becomes in the comics.
Well, yeah, well,
It just got to a point where it's like...
I just hate Batman as a superhero idea,
No.
too. The
Yeah.
idea behind him.
I mean,
Your stupid code of not killing anyone is the only...
Well-
you are mentally unstable. The only thing keeping you from being in the asylum is that you haven't killed anyone.
Okay, well that got changed like in the 60s. Like go back to the 40s and
Yeah, that's like the older Batman storylines where he...
go back to Batman Year
He
2
kills.
from 1980. Batman Year 2. He ends up blowing Joe Chill's head off in the end.
see, I don't mind that. It's just that the Ben Affleck one was, he still kept these morals of like not killing people, yet you see him blowing stuff up like a freaking M1 Abrams. There's just a cognitive dissonance right there.
has 30mm Gatling guns, but they're bullets apiece.
Why do you...
Yeah, no, I mean, look,
fight me.
I certainly get where you're coming from, and that aspect of Batman is certainly gay.
On par.
I wish they would go back to the old. I mean,
So grungier Batman, or
yeah, I wish.
yeah, I'd go with that. Give Batman more flaw instead of just being rich.
This is why I love Batman, because I thought Batman his personality as a whole was a counterweight to all the other gods and aliens
That is
part of Justice League.
that is one thing.
Yeah.
That is one
Of course,
thing.
you have to be just multi-billionaire. That's it. That's the only stipulation.
Well, that is one thing that bothered me about Daredevil, too, is the whole thing of like you can't kill the Kingpin because if you kill the Kingpin, then you become essentially like the Kingpin, and it's like.
Well, that's what's so great about the Dark Knight.
Well,
it realizes that.
Well, no, but like.
And like everything was just so based in reality, like real acts of terrorism, and like
It spoke a lot to modern day America.
yeah, which I mean I would say makes it one of the better superhero movies, but I don't know, the new direction that they're taking Batman fucking sucks.
I don't like the idea of just being Batman. If you're gonna make a film about Batman, obviously we know how it became Batman. We don't need that point reiterated.
Yeah, it's like Spider-Man.
yeah,
That's why Homecoming I thought was one of the best Spider-Man
Homecoming
movies by far.
Because
Well,
they didn't punch you in the face with Uncle Ben's death.
Yeah.
The only thing I don't like is the fact that it seems like they keep bringing them back to high school. They always bring them back to high school, and that's like the one thing that like drives me crazy. It's like I want like Peter Parker when he's in his mid-20s, when he's
and there were like some really interesting
when he's actually like an adult and like has
his own technology company.
Yeah.
That one was a pretty good storyline. Spider-Man 2099, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was the other one that was really good. Batman in the future, or not Batman, Spider-Man in the future.
Yeah. Has anyone seen the final season of House of Cards?
Yeah.
I have, yes.
I don't think it's the final season.
No. Well,
Roy, they said it was.
They said it was,
the
but
one that's on Netflix now, or the one coming out?
the one that just came out. But have you seen it?
Did it just?
Yeah,
Fuck up.
But if you look at how it was, the story of the sixth season.
I haven't finished it, but I've pretty much read it, so I kind of know. Well, okay, so considering the clusterfuck they had, considering the clusterfuck that they had to clean up.
Yeah.
I didn't know the new season came out.
Considering the clusterfuck that they had to clean up, after Kevin Spacey, I think they did a good job.
Yes.
Considering that they had to deal with that whole.
Yes.
But I was telling my mom, I'm like, I wonder how much different this would have been had Frank been. I mean, if you've seen the original, have any of you seen the original British version?
Yes, I have.
Okay. He ends up dying.
Yeah.
In the end. Anyway, so that's an inevitability. But I think they would have kept him around and like actually killed him off instead of do like what they did.
Well, if he was alive, or if he was still in the story or alive in the sixth season, it would have been definitely interesting having like the two power struggles of Claire and Frank. The thing about the sixth season is it's so cheesy. It's so cheesy.
The thing that I mean, like I said, I haven't finished season 6 yet because I've been busy with tests and whatnot. But the one thing that concerned me was I read like a review and it's like analyzing the all-female cast of, and I'm like, oh no.
I don't know how far you're in, but it gets worse.
I'm like.
Not saying we're against women, but just do it right.
Well, when female-led becomes like the main mantra of something for the purpose of being like female-led, that's when I have a problem.
Exactly, and that's what it is.
Yeah, when it's becoming female-led for the sake of So.
But are you going to send the dragon breathing fire?
No, actually. Well, this is the first one ever.
Oh.
Are there any more blue Doritos?
Absolutely.
There's this one really, really good.
Thank you.
I just got another text from them.
Are you serious?
I got 2 of those texts, and then
I
Shut the fuck up, liberal. It's such a good meme.
That's good. I had an exchange like that too with one.
Can
of them.
D count on your vote November 6th? Shut the fuck up, liberal.
oh yeah.
And then I had another one, except it was from Anareth. And then I said, history would be people getting tired of actual politicians. They vote Mickey Mouse as president. Andrew Gillum is another man, albeit a corrupt scumbag, but nevertheless a man. I recently read up on his support from Bernie Sanders, and I hope, just like Bernie, Gillum goes off to the woods, never to be heard from again.
For those of you listening, especially in Florida, we've been getting non-stop texts.
I just got one right now.
Well, yeah,
asking how I voted.
Well, yeah, I actually did want to bring that up. So thanks for segueing. That was weird. The fact that the Dems were texting anyone who was between like 18 and 30, basically targeting the millennials. First of all, I wanted to know how the fuck they got my
I think it's through school databases.
fuckers.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Next Gen got mine because I signed up through them because the first time I ever registered to vote, I put down independent.
Same.
This is just when I was in high school still because I did pre-register. And I didn't really know too much at the time. Yeah, I was probably leaning right, but I just didn't want to be put a label on myself. And then recently, I was talking to one of the guys walking around with the clipboards for voter registration. I said, hey, can I change my party for y'all? I said, sure. And then I filled it out Republican, gave it to them, but that was like 2 months ago. Didn't get a new card, didn't hear anything back. So I think they might have trashed mine.
See, I've been Republican since I was 18, and they still text me.
Yeah, I don't know.
And they were like, to stop receiving these messages, text stop. And I did, I told you this, instead of texting back stop, I texted back fuck off. So,
Yeah, no. I mean, I got an exchange too from Sally, but this was actually through I think the Democratic Party.
oh yeah, you actually read this to me. This is hilarious.
Yeah.
But,
so hi, this is Sally with Team Gillum, Nelson, Shapiro, and Pratt. Urging you to vote better. Blah, 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 blah. I just texted, I'm not a liberal, and then this is what pissed me off. She's like, you don't need to be a liberal to care about the environment, international trade, maintaining lives with our past allies, ensuring a better living wage for minimum wage workers. You just need to be a concerned citizen. I am a concerned citizen, Sally. That's why I'm not voting Democrat. I keep getting these texts from left-leaning groups. I don't know if it's the same database, but please remove my number from it. Nothing personal, Sally. Thanks for voting.
See, you were nice. You took the time to actually write back.
I took the civilized route. Although
I'm just grumpy old man Clint
Wait a minute.
Eastwood.
well, one of them I replied with,
I have this on
I'm not a
Instagram. Is
damn
this you?
communist. That's what I am.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
that's not me. I'm Dank Daddy Meme Master.
Okay, because someone also sent "Shut the fuck up, liberal" with the dragon.
It's so fucking good.
That's so good.
I need to find something.
Have
like
you guys
that.
seen the one where it's Ben Shapiro with a gavel?
Yeah,
It's like Time to Die
I posted
Liberal.
it on my page.
I wanted to send that one.
It's so funny.
Oh, it's so good.
Teleports behind you. Time to die.
Yes.
Liberal.
Definitely, the meme gods are
Can-
on our side.
Can you text that one to me?
Yes.
Do you have my number?
I don't think I do. Oh, I put it in the group chat. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say it on air. I don't want to dox myself, but basically, if you don't have it, ask Thomas.
Yeah, I'll give it to you.
Yeah, that's the other thing. The left can't fucking mean.
No,
That's
I can't. Can I use this real quick?
sure.
Do you spray it on the cloth?
Yeah, or yeah. I mean, as always, you could spray it on the screen, but the thing says to spray it on the cloth. And then,
Well, I mean, I think some of them can. The spice flows no matter what. The
Spice
spice must
flows.
always flow.
Yes, agreed. But
And even if they are retards about it, we must help them along.
This is really sad, but really ironic.
What is it?
This is like really fucked up that I'm gonna say anything about this. But there was a 12-year-old boy, 7 years into a cancer battle.
Oh God.
Oh, no.
And he was a Fallout fan.
I'm not really a gamer anymore, so why?
Oh, Fallout takes place like after nuclear holocaust.
I know
so
what.
radiation.
I know.
At least you're in the game.
Yeah. I feel really bad now for laughing at that.
You've laughed at worse, Seth.
I have definitely laughed at
You've
worse.
laughed at worse.
I think my favorite new horrible meme is the one of the battle bus and the guys jumping out, and then it cuts to the people jumping off of the tower.
Oh God. Good Lord.
It was just such like a I don't know,
perfect
a shock or a perfect. I don't know. I just found it really funny.
I know I'm old, but my favorite meme is still the one of David Hogg doing his whole march for our lives thing.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to Adolf Hitler's grandson.
That's funny.
By the way, the Dave Rubin interview with Kyle Kotshav is phenomenal.
I haven't seen that one.
Phenomenal.
You know who I really love? Tucker Carlson. Like, I've never agreed with a person so much.
I love Tucker Carlson
In my
so
life.
much. You can't cuck the tuck.
You can't cuck the tuck, bro. You can't cuck the tuck.
And he actually has like the most viewed news network
Yes.
or segment ever.
Yes.
He is in the top. Fox has been like wiping a bunch of the other.
I don't even have cable news though, so like that is the one thing I regret about getting rid of.
Well, I mean, they're all on YouTube now.
They really are.
Literally, You Can't Cut the Tuck is an entire series of some guy posting Tucker Carlson segments online.
My favorite meme and my most common response to people is just Tucker's just like bewildered expression.
Yeah, I love his face. Like, just... And the thing is, he got a question about that, and he's like, that's just my face. Like,
Yeah, the Dave Rubin interview.
Yeah, like, sorry, man. Like, no, I've never agreed with a person more. Especially on when, he's right when conservatives are asked the question, or...
I mean, I've known about Tucker Carlson since before he was famous because he used to be really close friends with Andrew Breitbart.
Yes.
The late great Andrew Breitbart.
But in terms of what he said,
I think I should send this to them.
I think he's right that when conservatives are faced with, like, let's take big tech. Big tech does need for government intervention.
Yeah, which I'm so sick of. This is the one thing where, again, we're not affiliated with YL, so I'm gonna piss off all the libertarians. But this is the one thing where I do get pissed off with the libertarians saying, free market.
Right, free market.
And it's like,
just get a hard on for free market.
It's like, no, not in the case of Silicon Valley. Silicon Valley is they basically created a monopoly. Let's bust them up and create
And plus, they need to stop being hypocrites. They need to be out and open with what they really think and what the rules really are.
Right. I think that's where libertarian ideology falters. But he strikes the right note when he talks about balance. Like, there needs to be a left and there needs to be a right. As partisan as I am, I still recognize the need for a counterweight.
Oh, I totally. I've never, like I said, I've never had a problem with there being liberals, like actual liberals.
Right.
The problem is leftism, and I mean, same thing with if we want to get serious, the alt-right. But in all honesty, the alt-right is such a microcosm now.
Yeah.
Even though the media that's the other thing. Richard Spencer is still on Twitter. I mean,
that's amazing.
He's unverified, but he he and what's his face, the KKK guy. I mean, they're all still on Twitter.
I don't know.
And yet Milo is essentially more dangerous in Jack's opinion than Richard Spencer.
I think the theory for that is...
I mean, maybe not literally, but that's the way Twitter's acting.
Well, that's the thing. I think the theory is, let's keep these really crazy right-wingers, these really, the people that actually fear, we as everybody should fear, left on the right, like Richard Spencer. So we make the right seem what we wanted to seem, and let's keep the rational, open conservatives like, I don't know, Andrew Clavin or Michael Knowles or anybody who makes one step to the right. Let's ban them. If there's any voice of reason that kind of shifts a little bit to the right, let's ban them. So we only keep this minute population. Let's exploit that for reasons of perception. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's I don't know. We wouldn't be too far off if we called it an organized movement by big tech.
I think here's been my theory about the alt-right in Richard Spencer. I think they're Soros plans.
I mean, Soros is a powerful dude.
I hate to be one of these Soros I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but when it comes to George Soros, he definitely is a mess. That's scary.
He's a man with a lot of money and a lot of time.
That is one thing that I love Joe Rogan, but if there is one thing he is definitely misinformed about, it is Soros.
George Soros, yeah.
I think Alex Jones took the wrong approach with Joe on ranting with him about that.
Yeah.
On the Joe Rogan podcast, they're all high. When you get Alex Jones high, nothing is getting done.
Yeah, absolutely.
You are going to go down a rabbit hole you wish you never went anywhere near.
Interdimensional child molester.
4D-dimensional chess!
Oh, man.
They're breaking the conditioning!
When you open a pickle jar, it's supposed to pop.
It's supposed to pop. That's not how you open a pickle jar. It's supposed to pop. See? Pop.
There was no pop.
I actually sent Alex Jones a friend request on. They got rid of his pages, but they didn't get rid of his personal profile.
Interesting.
I saw something like in my timeline, and I'm like, wait, is Alex back? And I'm like, oh wait, no, it's his personal. So I sent him a request, and he only has like 1,000 friends, so I might get on.
Yeah, who knows? How long have we been recording?
We've been going.
I'm just gonna go to tax collector tomorrow.
About an hour and 10 minutes. So
Ranging from topics such as the post-election fallout, superheroes and TV, and
sun chips.
The gays.
Well,
what are we gonna do about them?
well, that's what I love about podcasting.
Cool.
It's we can do anything.
Yeah.
I can get used to this. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, definitely.
Gays or a podcast?
Why not both?
Exactly.
What about gays?
What about gays on the podcast?
No.
Then we gotta draw the line somewhere, folks.
Well, Abby can't.
Abby can't.
Well,
she's bi.
In all seriousness,
She has the taint.
In all seriousness, I think that porn star that Gavin used to have on his Compound Media, I think she follows me on Twitter simply because I retweeted something that she said about phonism.
Interesting. Very interesting.
We're talking about trying to get a porn star on a podcast because that'd be like totally straight, man.
That'd be funny.
I couldn't. I wouldn't be able to fulfill my hosting duties.
Why not?
I don't need to. Oh, I know, suppose whatever.
What was it? I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth.
Yeah, I played the fifth.
I plead the fifth.
She said she was 18.
Yikes.
That would be a little hard. That would be a little hard for. That would be a little hard. That would be a little hard.
Hitting a little close to home, bud.
Yeah.
That would be a little hard. That would be a little hard for a MILF to claim she was underage, but whatever. So,
It's all I want in life. No. Soccer mom.
Nah, I referee soccer. No.
There's not at least one.
No. That's a myth.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a myth.
Still a fantasy.
Yeah.
Still
And
a
a
fantasy.
gym MILF. Now that's a whole different subject.
well,
Complete polar opposite.
Well,
Same.
the thing it is, I've noticed that MILF is like any porn star over 30 now, or no.
That's
well,
really any woman over.
It really is.
If any woman has a kid, and you would deem them hot enough to have sex with, then they are a MILF.
My quest in life, to make a MILF out of a woman.
There you go.
Make your own.
Make your own milk.
Make your own
Easy 10
MILF.
steps
Make a
to
MILF. Wait, build a MILF
Build a
workshop.
milk workshop. Love it.
It'll
Love
be
it.
like a stripper factory. On the
Determine
table.
your filling.
This is my religion.
Determine your filling.
Plastic or...
Plastic or silicone?
Silicone actually feels almost like the real thing.
Oh, wow.
Wouldn't know.
What?
Wouldn't know.
My ex had surgery.
Implants.
Yeah.
False advertising.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Did you break up with her before or after?
After.
Sorry, man.
What?
Well, damn it, that's she got him for you, trying to save the relationship.
Why is that damage? She's a sociopath.
Was she a redhead?
No, she's a brunette.
Oh.
Now, sociopath or psychopath? Because we can go down two different rabbit holes here.
For her case, I think one and the same. Both
Manipulative
yes.
or just breaks down in public constantly?
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right. Let's get the social science department on this.
I've only ever dealt with a psychopath, so...
This is why I may date conservative women.
I love conservative women.
I mean, I dated one, but then she
Begs for
was
some.
kind of crazy. But
Yeah. I think it's
the crazy goes on both sides.
Crazy.
My longest relationship was with a liberal girl. She was great the whole way through. Wasn't pushy at all. We kept to ourselves about our opinions. It was great.
I'm not saying I'm like a public figure, like I'm small time.
saying
but
you are. You have a podcast. You're a public figure.
I do. Well, no.
Well, now we're all public figures.
Yeah.
There we go.
Well, no, I am, but like I'm not like uber famous yet. But like I feel like with me like politics would be an impossible thing to.
Yeah, I think it damaged any reputation of me going into public office.
Oh, people are always like, do you want to go into public office? I'm like, no, broadcasting and whatnot is way more fun.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Is this
but
it now?
I mean, I basically think that to conclude, I basically think that the midterms went surprisingly well.
Yeah.
Batman sucks.
Batman does not suck.
Only one Batman does not suck. The rest
Yeah,
of
that Terry McGinnis.
Okay, if I could make one final note on Batman, is that if you're gonna make a Batman movie, okay, don't be straight out like this Batman's gonna be dark, this Batman's gonna be grungy. I like it if you start out Batman on like a neutral path, but then you see his transition to dark, grungy.
Yeah, I'd like that much better.
Dynamic character.
Well,
I just think it's hard to do in Hollywood. But,
I don't know about
I mean, it's a hit or miss. Don't meme that.
I was about
well,
I guess they always miss.
well,
Huh.
can I
interject?
Can I just say one thing I really do not like about the Marvel movies now is
Too many of them?
too many of them.
They're all the same story.
Yes.
They attempted maybe not.
They're not the exact same story.
Same overarching.
See, the thing is with Marvel, they found a formula that works. 100% works. It makes them money. It gives good.
Makes
building
actors
to
ripped
their
for some
universe.
reason.
It makes actors ripped. It makes them more money. And you have people that do genuinely enjoy these movies. And then you have like DC on the other hand, they don't have their formula down pat. And when they try and copy Marvel's formula, it completely gets all fucked up.
I will agree on that. The one thing that does drive me crazy, if there was one thing, I don't need jokes every 5 minutes or some.
Yeah.
Or some.
Yeah.
Witty
Last Jedi.
one-liners.
I like when there is genuine
Yeah,
funny or something like that. But when it's forced,
when it's organic, I don't need to hear like language from Cap like for the 50th time. We get it.
yeah.
We
I
get
don't know. I felt like as the Marvel movies have progressed, they do let the actors do what they want. Like Thor Ragnarok, for instance, almost 60%, I think it's 60%, of all of those lines in that movie were completely improvised by Chris Hemsworth and company.
And I don't mind that.
Yeah, and like to me, in that movie, they have some of the best character dynamics out of any of the Marvel movies because it feels more organic.
See though, this is what drives me crazy. Maybe this is the fans, but I don't know. All the fans I've talked to, the same people are like, there are way too many jokes in the Star Wars movies, which there are.
Yes and no.
There are, but they're the same ones who are like, oh, haha, those all the jokes in Marvel are completely fine.
I think it's just about timing.
It is. And when it's forced comedy, like in The Last Jedi, there was a lot of really bad forced comedy.
First scene can speak for the entire movie.
It's just not funny.
Can we talk about how stupid and retarded the tactics of the First Order are?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? You have two cruisers on the side of your biggest dreadnought. They're just gonna sit there
we chilling.
Balls out, and then I don't get it. How? First of all, why is a general in charge of your fleet? Why not an admiral?
Well, they are. Well, the First Order is essentially run by a bunch of emo kids with.
Tell me about it.
With daddy issues, grandfather issues.
Oh yeah.
Jedi Master issues.
Oh god.
Or like the other first scene. No, Luke came after the.
I hate what they did to Luke so
scene.
much.
But
Fall from grace.
It's fine that they killed him. I'm okay with that aspect of the movie.
I
What
don't
I'm
mind that.
not okay with is him getting the lightsaber for the first time and all that epic music plays and you're like, holy shit, the hairs on my calves are standing up. And then he just throws the lightsaber.
It took me out of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, okay, I'm fine with them diverting audience expectations, but not in that way.
Yeah.
Like they could have done something more epic, I just can't, or what. They could have done something more dramatic instead of.
Yeah, or he gives it back to Rey and he's like, get this out of my sight or something. Something else.
Something more realistic instead of
Fuck you.
Well,
or him drinking the titty milk from that weird thing. Who the fuck thought that it would be a good idea to include some giant space cow and have Luke suck the green milk out of its teat?
well,
I mean, my main takeaway from the movie was that's not what who Luke was. Luke always found people to be redeemable, even his father. Even at the very end, he forgave him. That's the big thing about him. The whole, he tried to kill Kylo Ren, where the hell did that come from?
well,
I don't know.
Well, the whole thing that somehow Vader is redeemable, but Kylo Ren isn't. I mean, Vader was a serial killer, straight up.
He was messed up from the beginning.
Kylo Ren is messed up, but
Kylo's also being manipulated, though.
Well, okay, so I'm not as bothered by the whole.
Which makes him even more redeemable.
Yeah, and it makes him a better character. I, for one, think that he is one of the better Star Wars villains.
Yes.
Yeah, Well, let's be honest. Even Mark Hamill basically said he hates the way they handled.
Yeah, because
Oh my god, we're gonna talk about Mark Hamill. If you guys follow him on Instagram,
no.
oh, he's so lefty. Like he makes
I
my
know.
God.
Yes.
A good bit of actors are though because of where they are.
But
Liam Neeson was talking about like massive gun control like a week before Taken 3 got released, and that was like okay. Yeah.
If you're someone, if you have your own political beliefs, fine. It's just,
I mean,
the way he espoused it, it's like, come on, Mark.
Do we really need to be taking advice from actors whose entire careers, movies, who live this ultra lifestyle that
really
don't relate to
disconnected.
99% of their audience? Sounds like the fitness industry all over again.
No one bothers me more than Mark Ruffalo on that.
Mark Ruffalo,
Yeah.
I like him as an actor, and I mean he's a funny person, but I don't know.
that just speaks to
Virtue signal.
I will say my absolute favorite actor on screen and off screen.
Chris Pratt.
Yeah, I would say that.
Yes.
Chris Pratt is
Josh
awesome.
Brolin.
Josh Brolin.
He is
You're
fucking
right.
hilarious.
Josh Brolin is hilarious.
Absolutely hilarious.
I don't look into him that often.
You gotta follow him on Instagram. There was this one picture that he just randomly posted. He was like, being old sucks. This morning I pissed on myself. And it's just a picture of his pants. And he has like pee going down the side. And he just owns up to it. Like,
Do you remember the one where he just took a picture of his boobs? He's like, my succulent.
yes!
My
Or the one, he's like naked holding the fish like
Yes.
this. And it's just like, I think the caption was like post snap or something. And it
so
was
funny.
just, what the fuck?
You know who else is actually like hilarious is James Spader.
James Spader. Is that the guy who was in?
That's the guy from The Blacklist.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's still some down there. I'll just dump them in here and I'll throw them away.
He was also Ultron.
Yes.
I, for one,
That as a Marvel movie, that one sucked.
I hate it. Age of Ultron.
I liked Ultron as a villain,
Yeah, that's the thing.
but like that movie was trying to set up so much stuff. That's why it was like I
Well-
think that it was being held back a lot.
Well, I thought Ultron should have been what Thanos was because like Ultron legit does figure out to kill all the Avengers in like a timeline.
That is the actual Age of Ultron
Yeah.
timeline.
Yeah, exactly.
But I can understand why they didn't do that because the way that they retcon that is a Days of Future Past situation where they send someone back in time and then they fix that timeline so that it doesn't happen.
As far as the X-Men movies go, Days of Future Past was actually pretty good.
I think it's been one of the best new X-Men movies.
See, the X-Men movies, everyone shits on them, they're not that bad.
Yeah!
Found it.
Yes!
Yeah.
But he's just like, he's so shameless, and it is the funniest thing.
Jesus Christ, that's gonna get my phone.
There's another one, he's like wearing just a Hawaiian shirt and like a
Yeah, I saw that one.
And he's like skimming his pool. And that's the picture. And you're like, wow, Brolin. Thank you for
Did
that.
you see the baby?
Yeah,
That's so beautiful.
I know. His wife is hilarious too.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Is it like the whole Ryan Reynolds
power
and...
couple.
Huh?
Said power couple.
Power couple.
The other one I love is Kyle Dunnigan on Instagram.
Isn't, that name sounds familiar.
Kyle Dunnigan shows up on Joe Rogan's podcast a lot. He's someone who does all the impressions of like Caitlyn Jenner.
Yeah.
You're like, well, this isn't really on YouTube, so I won't get copy or, but like, let me.
You won't get copy striked?
Now that's the other beauty of audio podcasts. The only thing where you get copyright struck is if you like play actual like music.
Can we copy strike the Youth for American Liberty?
Yes, please.
That
On it, Captain.
I feel like if they did copyright, it might start like.
I'll copyright my voice.
It's possible.
Like Thomas would just get like super pissed and.
Probably. Just. Oh yeah.
Or just get Abby too, the ultimate betrayal.
There you go. Oh.
Her spite for not being here. Do you hear that, Abby? Do you?
No comment on Abby. Okay. Have you guys seen the new Joker movie that's coming out with
Joaquin Phoenix?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm kind of excited for it
I'm
because
excited.
I like Joaquin Phoenix
Yes.
a lot as an actor, but also I don't understand why DC is double backing on a character that already exists in their universe. Now, I can understand because it does take place in a different time, if this is either a separate timeline or it's completely separate or it's not. I don't know.
For a fan service?
Have any of you guys
Yeah.
seen? Have any of you seen Gotham?
The series? No, I haven't.
I watched like the
It's,
first season and I didn't like
Yeah.
I didn't like it.
Okay. Yeah. The series is but the portrayal that they did of the Joker,
Yeah, with what's his name?
Cameron.
Yeah. He
Is-
plays Ian in Shameless.
Is really.
Really good.
He does a really creepy.
Yeah.
He does a really good Joker.
But I feel like that's the thing that made.
Wait, Ian is the redhead gay kid, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I know exactly what you're
He's
talking
like,
about.
he's
He could pull it
very
off,
good.
actually, now
Yeah,
I'm thinking
he's
about
a
it.
very good actor.
Robert De Niro's in the new Joker movie. Interesting.
Huh, betraying his...
It's
He owns a restaurant chain now.
What?
See,
Those things aren't profitable.
De Niro is one of those actors who I love, but as soon as he opened his mouth with the whole "fuck Trump" thing,
Yeah.
Vaccines
it
cause
was
autism.
like-
Have you seen that meme? It's like it's a SpongeBob one with the one dude and Patrick, and he like shows him the license or whatever, and he's like, "So you agree that autism is a genetic disease?" Yes.
Yes.
And he's like, "You also agree that vaccines introduce a bacteria into a body that's not previously there?" He said, "Yes." So vaccines don't cause autism. It's like, no, that's not what I said.
Here's the thing. I don't.
Vaccines open up genes that enact autism.
Yes.
Well,
That was actually a fake study. Like the people that came out or did that study came out about it and said that was a fake study.
And now he lives in a mansion in England.
okay.
yes.
Okay. I hate to break it to you, but your boy Alex Jones is an anti-vaxxer.
I never said he was my boy.
Well, I never said he was my boy either. I find him very hilarious. I don't agree with half. The
He's a
things he
lol
says.
cow.
I said that sarcastically.
He's actually crazy.
No.
He's actually crazy.
He's the
No,
internet's
I don't
biggest
think
lol
it's-
cow.
I don't think it's a joke anymore. I think that is actually him.
Yeah.
It's not
No.
satirical.
Did I ever tell you about his crazy fans?
My grandfather?
Well, so I'm an Eagle Scout, and like way back when in high school, like when he was still going on about 9/11 truth, I was like, okay, cut the bullshit, and I lied into why 9/11 truth was, and my whole explanation was, if the government actually did 9/11, they would not be able to keep it secret because the government is terrible at cover-ups.
That's true.
And we had like multiple whistleblowers.
I'm not saying that like there wasn't fishy shit about 9/11 with like that intelligence gone wrong,
Yeah, then why haven't we been told about aliens yet, Sam?
but that
I feel it's a lot easier to cover up.
but that doesn't
Yeah.
that doesn't mean just because Intel got fucked up doesn't mean that it was an inside job.
yeah.
But okay, so like.
It was just carelessness on our side.
But like the fact, yeah, basically. So, but like essentially the fact that I denied. So one of Alex Jones's fans were like, "Well, the Boy Scouts of America have been training for like they're gonna be Bush's.
Hitler Youth.
Yep. And Sam
love
Whitfield is an Eagle Scout, so he must be trained as like a CIA assassin.
Well, that also stems from like the world's view of the Boy Scouts, where technically their definition of a paramilitary unit, militia, kind of fits what the Boy Scouts are to them. To them.
Okay, I in all honesty, I wish we were a fucking
paramilitary unit.
Well, the idea there was it was made during World War One.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how cool that would be to like at like 16 like get trained with like an M16 and like actually do like actual paramilitary shit?
Well, I mean, absolutely, because then you're just educating kids on firearms at an early age, which is important.
Fine, which happened to me when I was 14.
Like, fuck yeah, that would be cool, but like, and I'm not saying that camping and all the other stuff isn't cool, but I'm like, yeah, trust me, Boy Scouts is not door kicker fun, so.
Could you imagine the payroll, back to 9/11, could you imagine the payroll necessary to keep this under wraps?
It's like faking the moon landing. It would have cost just as much as getting to the moon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We went to the moon.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's no... See, here's the thing. People are like, oh, it was done in a movie studio. How in the fuck did they know that on the moon, when you record something, you don't see the stars on it? How would they have known if they didn't go there?
Here's the thing with conspiracy.
Are you retard?
Here's the thing with conspiracy theories. People will always buy into them.
Yeah, I know. But that's also because they're so ignorant that when they hear some sort of information, they take it at face value and they're like, oh.
Well, guys, there are some credible conspiracy theories, like the flat Earth.
Obviously.
The Earth is flat.
Yes and no.
Yes, it is.
The Earth is not flat.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, all my favorite celebrities said it's flat, therefore it's flat.
Oh, me too.
Get red pilled, man. Bless you. Also, /sark.
Thank you. What were we talking about again?
Flat Earth.
Oh.
How we're actually surrounded by gigantic ice walls that we can't get past.
No, yeah, definitely.
My favorite conspiracy is that we're literally living in a simulation.
That one, I think, is the most credible one, though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the wonderful thing about it is that it's like kind of like a null hypothesis. You can't really prove it, but you can't disprove it.
My whole thing is like, well, yeah, obviously we are part of God's giant SimCity computer.
Wait, are we NPCs?
Yes.
The true question we ask ourselves, we may call the left the NPCs, but are we just projecting? Are we all truly NPCs?
It's possible.
Who's the player characters? Do we rely off of anime where you spot the main character by their hairstyle?
Jesus.
Spot the main character.
We're part of Jesus's big Sim City.
Have you guys heard From God's Perspective by Bo Burnham?
I've heard of it, but I haven't.
If you haven't, please listen to it because it is really, really funny and it talks a lot about like this stuff. He's like talking through like the eyes of God, and he's like something about you're just a bad game of sins. Yeah.
Africa was my playground.
I say that.
I don't talk about it anymore.
There's another part, he's like, you shouldn't have to read a book with too many pages to understand that you shouldn't be a dick.
My favorite, does anyone else here follow or even know who Dennis Miller is?
I've heard of him, but
what is sound familiar?
No,
okay. Dennis Miller was the original was one of the original SNL Weekend Update anchors back when it was good.
Mm.
He's also like pretty much one of the only conservative stand-up comedians. He has a pretty funny joke on Islam that's like, he's like, Islam is the only religion where you can get winded praying.
Janitor.
Oh.
She just came in here and stared at me.
Okay.
Jake, he told me to.
Okay. Let's see. What time is it though?
4:30, isn't it?
4:40.
4:40.
What?
Jeez.
Janitorial staff isn't supposed to get here until 5:30.
Huh?
Maybe they're trying to get a hop on it. It is Thursday. Well, this is my Friday.
Well, no, okay, yeah. Well, I could make illegal jokes, but I'm.
I knew it. Oh man,
Make
I
what
knew
jokes?
It. I knew it. Illegal jokes.
Oh, God damn it.
Okay. Well, hold on. I have a good topic. When Trump mentioned getting rid of the naturalization clause.
Oh yes, that's something I actually wanted to ask you about. Why are libertarians having libertarians are very divided on that.
Here's how I see it. I agree full-heartedly that we should rescind that clause, or at least make it more definitive, the 15th Amendment, or the 14th, I think it was the 14th. Well, first of all, when the 14th Amendment was being pushed, it was being pushed to be more exclusive than inclusive. The idea was whoever's here now and is proven to be a citizen will be a citizen. It's giving definitive citizenship to those who are already here. The thing about it is that this is where I disagree with the president. Getting that decision through executive action.
I agree.
I think that's really where libertarians have the.
I think that's where a lot of conservatives have.
By any means necessary.
That's the thing. Because if you're going to do that, then you're no different than President Obama with the Affordable Care.
Yeah, that is one thing I am disagreeing with Trump. He's like too many executive orders, and yet he's executive ordering.
Yes. If you're gonna do an impact of the Constitution like that, convene the states, get it 2/3, do it the proper way through the proper channels. And it'd be definitely going over your executive privilege. But as for stopping hanger babies, absolutely. I mean, I came to this country fair and square. It's still the law, Like, you break the law, you suffer the consequences. And the thing that there's businesses where they're taking expecting mothers and bringing them here illegally doesn't help.
Yeah, well, Trump has even. I mean, I know that his latest viral video, and we'll wrap this up pretty quickly. I know Trump's latest viral video is him going after Jim Acosta.
Jim Acosta's a piece of crap.
Jim Acosta. Yeah, well, basically, CNN is garbage.
Yeah.
And Acosta is CNN. I mean, Trump has said repeatedly that he does want immigrants. He just wants them to follow the laws.
That's not.
Which I feel like is fine.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to come into the United States, you should file for citizenship.
Absolutely.
You should come in here legally, because the ramifications of not doing that and not being here legally, you'll just get deported, or you'll be thrown in prison.
Yeah.
Or
you'll be separated from your family.
Yeah. So why not just try and come into the country legally?
Which, by the way, I hate the fact that like people were like, "Oh, that was a horrible policy Trump enacted." It's like, no.
But that fixes so much.
Well, he wasn't even the one that enacted that policy, though. Like the policy of separating kids at the border, like that was one from.
That's dating back.
Yeah,
the Clinton.
And I think like they've done various variations of that, like since the Cold War or something.
Well, I mean, that was decided by an appeals court in, I think, the 9th district. But I don't know. The president is just being a president in terms of the whole separating children. Well, here's the thing: if you're an immigrant, are you really going to risk coming here as a parent to face yourself deportation only to be separated by your child?
Mm-hmm. Right.
If we do get rid of it, the whole clause allowing for anchor babies, it's for the betterment of everyone. Because if you leave the child here and they get citizenship through birthright, and the parents get deported, what's going to happen to the kids? You know what I mean? They're not going to get deported because by interpretation of the Constitution, they're citizens. So we're only harming more people by allowing this unlawful interpretation.
Well, people also seem to think, though, and I think this is where people are getting confused. People think that natural-born citizens who are born here, that they're going to have to take the citizenship test too, or they'll get deported.
No.
Which, I mean, I think people should take the citizenship test.
That's including citizens as a whole?
Yeah, I mean, I think they should take it just to educate themselves and, know what that experience is
I
like.
can see that, yeah.
I don't think that should be...
Have any legal ramifications if you fail or something?
Oh, I mean, I'm pretty sure if that were, like, the vast majority of people would get deported.
I mean, that speaks to what good immigration is. Good immigration is when you get immigrants who, take the citizenship test and they end up knowing a lot more about the country than their native citizens.
You for example.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And I'm not saying that to boost your ego. I'm saying.
Too late. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, yeah, take however you want. I'm just saying that.
Oh no, yeah, I totally get that.
You do know a lot more than most people. So, anyway, though, we're at 140.
Well,
Okay.
I wanted to ask you guys, did you guys sign the petition to legalize weed?
There's a petition?
There's a petition?
Yeah. It should have been at most of the voting.
I believe more in like the decriminalization, not the legalization, but...
Okay, so here's my take on that. It's been okay, I'm originally from Colorado.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with them. I don't have a problem with them decriminalizing or legalizing it, but just the way Colorado did it was essentially, okay, let's legalize it, and then figure out the rest later.
Yeah, I feel
which caused way too many problems because now we've got people are driving while stoned. We've got and they're like, oh shit, we hadn't thought of. So basically, Colorado has become a dysfunctional because we're trying to figure it out as we go, how to enforce.
I mean, I visited there once, a couple months ago. I mean, I didn't notice any of that. But then again, I haven't been there for too long.
Maybe I'm just more sensitive to it because I'm a native and I'm comparing it to before.
Yeah.
But that is true that they're kind of making it up as they go, and I'm like.
Yeah.
I hate the fact that Colorado was the test case.
Yeah.
California should have been the test case.
I agree because it's a lot more prevalent there.
Well,
but it's also a higher concentration of people.
Yeah, but
so you can truly test what it will do to a larger population.
Kind of my whole thing though is the state's fucked up anyway. So if they're all stoned and it gets fucked up nothing is going to really be different there.
I think the best case scenario that they could do is legalize it, decriminalize it, but then put a tariff on it, like alcohol or like tobacco.
Exactly.
So it's actually profitable for the government, but it's also legal for people.
But what I'm saying is just in terms of enforcement, they need.
Yeah, obviously.
What they needed to do is actually do the test of okay, how do we measure for driving while stoned?
Yeah.
Because right now there is no way to measure that blood alcohol level. And that's
stand on 1 foot.
Yeah. Just okay, dude.
I want you to move your arm as fast as you can. There we go. Move your arm as fast as you can.
Well, we'll see that the funny thing is
he's high on weed, not on acid.
Yeah.
First time.
Yeah, that's LSD, man. That's not acid.
I speak from experience.
You smoke some laced weed then?
No.
Okay.
Colorado.
Oh, okay. Now we know the purpose of your trip. Okay.
No, it was family. First time.
Canada too. Like when I went up to Canada, it was right after they passed for decriminalization, and like you would just walk down the street and there's just some dude smoking a joint,
That's
and
wild.
like cops are standing 10 feet away, but it's like that's so cool that you can just smoke a joint in front of a cop, and like no ramifications, everything's legal. The only thing that they do ask is that if you buy from a dispensary and you're near shops, you don't smoke it near a shop, because
That's nice.
yeah. So like they're
Etiquette.
very nice about it, and I mean, I don't
Take
know.
it home.
I feel like Canada is doing that part right with decriminalizing it and
Yeah.
putting some sort of brackets on it saying, hey, this is legal, but do these things because don't be a dick. It's Canada.
Alright, yeah. So, any other topics that we need to get out of the way?
We'll save some for next time.
Dasani is a shit water brand.
Canada sucks.
I think
Aquafina is Chad.
Canada is the coolest country if you're visiting, not if you're living.
Okay, I'll give you that.
I think
We need to retake Alberta.
Yes. Thank you. Yes.
That carbon tax is screwing them over, and they are
Yes.
ripe for the picking.
Yes. Yes.
Justin Trudeau is a fag.
Yes.
Justin Trudeau is secretly, what was his name? Fidel Castro's son.
Yes.
We're all agreeing on shit. Well,
I have a Fidel Castro bobblehead.
Thomas, I don't know if you did this intentionally, but you kind of got the Fidel Castro beard going on.
We just need to get him a little hat. We need to give him a little hat and a cigar.
Yeah, get a really, really thick Cuban
You're like
and get him one of those
you're
little
like
hats.
you're like the conservative Fidel Castro. Instead of like communism, you just want like a hardcore like liberty.
Para la Constitución. Yeah.
We need
Gracias.
we need to do like a meme of that, just like
Yeah.
have you be like polar opposite.
You could be like that white guy that explains the games, like John Wick is in Tilted Towers.
Oh!
He's here right now. But you do like a Fidel
And he
Castro,
needs
like,
a gold
dress up.
saw and a couple of chug jugs
Jugs.
in
Oh,
order
you-
to get through. So what we need from you is your mom's credit card and the 3 numbers on the back.
And that crazy expiration date and year. But hurry,
But
John
hurry.
Wick is in trouble.
And he needs your help.
Oh man. Alright,
There's-
alright gamers.
There's another one. He's like,
T-Series is a major threat to PewDiePie. PewDiePie needs your help to defeat T-Series in getting 69 million subscribers.
John Wick is amazing though.
John Wick is
I love John
Yes.
Wick.
I visited the park where he learned that all the assassins were going to go after him
Oh yeah.
in Central Park. Beautiful area.
Mm-hmm.
Got accosted by a fake Buddhist monk though.
Oh, there's a lot of those. I've been. Yeah.
Yeah, it's...
Yeah.
They shoved a bracelet on my wrist and said, "Here, sign here, sign here, sign here, sign here, sign here." And I said, "Oh, sure, I'll sign." And he said, "You want peace, you want peace, you want peace?" I said, "Sure, I want peace." And he said, "Okay, donate." And I said, I looked at the bracelet and I went, "Okay, it looks kind of nice." So I said, $2, $5, $2, $5. Okay, fine. Because it was a banded one. I said, "Okay, $2, and I already ran away.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of those there. It's totally a rip.
There's this one Chinese lady. I was waiting in line to the ferry to Ellis Island, and there was one that was like walking around with a clipboard, and she's like, "You want peace? You want peace?" I said no. And I was like, "Okay."
Okay.
Kept
Okay.
walking. It was so.
I've actually done that to a couple.
Alright, gamers. Let's wrap this up.
Alright. So
Gamer girl, send in your applications.
well, we do need gamer girls. So any that want to appear on the podcast,
Oh,
please,
welcome.
please.
We gotta outsource to TikTok for that. I hate TikTok
Oh,
with a
God.
passion. With
Yeah, but-
an absolute passion.
Yeah, but the spice is flowing like no other.
The only good thing about it is the people that are so self-aware that they're trolling everyone else on TikTok.
Yeah.
Girls
that
bullying
is
girls.
The best part.
That is the best part.
This is what it's all about.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And with that, we'll sign off. Is there anything you want to plug? Any
Hey, follow my meme page, Dank Daddy Meme Master. Please. I
Is
post
that
dank
on-
memes.
Is that on Twitter or
It's on
Instagram?
Instagram. Instagram only.
And look out for our next event at SCF, the Young Americans for Liberty. Be on the lookout for that.
We're gonna make a prison.
Do
We're
we
gonna make a
even
prison.
do we even know what that is yet?
A prison?
Oh, yes.
Incarceration Nation.
Incarceration Nation. I'll catch you up on that.
What's going on with that? I'd like to know about that.
Yeah, we'll announce it later on the podcast. But for right now, this is saying what Phil's saying. We are out of here. So
Signing off.
Communism.
Make America Great Again. Trudeau and Gillum are both fags. And good night, folks. Thanks for listening. Well, folks, if you've managed to stick around towards the end and you've made it to the end of this podcast, I want to thank you for sitting through our nearly 2-hour rant regarding politics and pop culture and midterm goodness and comic book culture and Batman and all of the inappropriate jokes too that we made, but we're politically incorrect here. And we're just a bunch of white, straight, cis males. So, we like to trigger the SJWs with our sense of humor. But in all seriousness, once again, I'd like to thank Thomas, Seth, and Trent for joining me on the podcast for the Thursday edition. We'll be back for part 2 of the post midterm election on Saturday. That'll be the live stream show. So if you'd like to tune into that, please subscribe to my YouTube channel by searching the Whitfield Report on YouTube, and you can subscribe live for that. I don't know if I have a guest this week yet. That's to be announced. As always, you can download the audio podcast for that as well on Saturday night after the show. And then I'll be doing a part 3 too, or I should say part 3 as well for the post-election, and I'll announce when that's happening as well. In the meantime, folks, though, this was a good start to the post-midterm analysis. So thanks for listening, and I'll see you on Saturday night. God bless and God save this great nation. Thank you for tuning in to the Whitfield Report.